are live. Week 2 already. ARCA. Richmond. Race cars. Lots of things with R in it. Yeah. Looking super forward to, if that's super forward. Very much looking forward to, there it is. Awesome racing tonight at Richmond. These cars are getting a little loose. Certain situations, you see a couple guys putting into the wall. There's happen to be watching Hardcastle as he hits the wall. I know he's gonna murder me, but how this goes. I'm working currently on redownloading all of the paints here to see if I can, get everybody's paints correctly. These guys will join in late on me, and they like to change their paints at the last minute because so many people have so many different paints in here. It's crazy. Go to ARCA. We're gonna get our driver's briefing started here, so we'll start the stage with you folks in here already. Now to get my count. 15 drivers tonight so far. I will need to see 15 folks lining up. We'll go ahead and make the announcement. Alright, drivers, it is now 8 p.m. Please bring your hot rods down to pit road so we can have a little pre-race discussion in the driver's briefing room, and I'll get you guys on to qualifying. Thank you. Where I'm usually just kind of double checking. People running laps, like Corey here, for instance, is just, gonna be, oh no. Oh no, iRacing. I don't think that that's Corey's paint, guys. I'm just saying. Pretty sure that's the exact opposite of Corey's paint, so let you try that one again. Creating paints your kid. Right, so I'm looking for 15 people. My driver's briefing room, and I have 14 currently. Missing Logan. Okay. Logan, if you can hear me, we need you in the driver's briefing room, buddy. Haven't seen him turn any laps, so I'm gonna assume that he has stepped away at a very inopportune time, so I will attempt to reach out to him in a way that doesn't have you guys sitting in here for the next 5 hours. Slight exaggeration, only slight. So welcome, week 2, Richmond, ARCA, bunch of other words associated with what's happening tonight. Looks a little slippery out there, guys. You guys have been practicing. I have not, but the sounds of things, the setup takes a couple laps to get some heat in the tires, or then it's a little bit on the treacherous side as far as rear end coming around on you and stuff like that. So let's do our due diligence to take care tonight. Not go super crazy until we get a couple laps under the tires so that we have a chance to get them warmed up. If we sit under caution all night, you guys are never going to get heat in the tires, and it's just going to be a crapshoot. Much like Martinsville last season, which has already been brought up by a couple folks that were there on the beaches. So the only thing that I'm going to do a bit differently than what was done at Martinsville last season is if we start getting into a slog of continuous cautions, I'm going to set restarts to single file. And hopefully that will make a difference. But I mean, other than that, there's not really a whole lot I can do other than, unfortunately, parking people if we have consecutive offenders of spins or cautions or whatever. I'm also going to do everything that I can to make sure that cautions don't happen. So if you happen to get a little bit loose and maybe get separated from the pack, I am going to be more on the hesitant side to throw the caution unless it's a complete spin, simply because I would like the race to finish tonight before midnight. So that is the goal. That is the plan. Trying to think. Yeah, Corey, no Martinsville repeats. Yeah, absolutely. Much agreed there. And I think anybody that has a sense would agree with you there, buddy. So we're going to try our best not to do that. It's already 1 a.m. So 12 is really far away for you then. So we definitely don't want it to go to 12 for you, for sure. Good. So we've got the new self-spin rule this season in the rule books, where if you do self-spin, but you do it in such a way that all precautions were taken to avoid the wreck being worse, i.e., you lock your brakes, you steer the car off the track, you re-enter safely, all that stuff, then you're definitely going to then you'll be up for it. Of course, it's opinionated from race control, of course, up for the ability for it to not count as your first warning the first time that happens. So look out for that tonight. It'll be something that I discuss openly, as I usually do. And any disputes, obviously, we'll go over post race if there are any. Let's just not have any, because I'd love to not have to go over any. That would be really cool. Thanks. And let's see here. Another thing we're focusing on this season a bit more. So last season, a few different times in a few different situations and a few different drivers, none of which I'll name because that's not the point. We're having incidents on the track where there's a group of cars that spin or something happens, and a secondary group of vehicles pulling up on the incident do not have any sort of caution to the incident themselves, and they don't hit the brakes, they don't attempt to slow down or take proper evasive maneuvers and cause an even worse wreck because they weren't paying attention, I guess is how I'll put it. But when the caution comes out, you cannot advance your position, so there's no reason to be racing, so everybody needs to be slowing down for incidents. And if I see some blatant lack of attention to these incidents, like i.e. a secondary car comes in and crashes into a parked car, you know, 5 to 10 seconds after he had already spun out and everybody else was slow, then I am going to start penalizing the car that comes in and hits. It's unacceptable, and it's one of the things here that we're trying to teach you guys to do. You have to have awareness, understand what it means to have a caution, so you slow down for wrecks and incidents, and you handle that correctly. And I think that's honestly all I have at the moment. Besides the fact that I would like to strangle my trading paints, I am streaming on my channel for you guys, but everybody's car is just a white blob, and I hate it here. So other than that, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for me? Go ahead and put your hands up in Discord if you've got anything for me. Unless your name is Randall Sheriff, in which case, don't touch anything. Right? Anybody? Oh, Andrew's got a question. I have a feeling, but I'm gonna do this. What's up, Hardcastle?
I just have a thing I want to talk to you when you're done.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, 10-4, bud. I will be around-ish. Good. All right, I don't see anybody else, so I'm going to say you guys can go ahead and hop out of here, jump in your cars. I'll be advancing the session momentarily to qualifying. Good luck. Have a great race, everybody. Thank you. What up?
Are you the person I would talk to about getting a team role now?
Yeah, I would suppose so.
Okay, then I will send you a thing after the race.
Yeah, just DM me team name, and I'll try to give you the correct roles so that you can see the channel. And then in the channel, that's where you'll request or post like who's driving for you in what league.
Okay.
And it
That
should.
was pretty much the only thing I wanted.
Okay, 10-4, buddy.
So
Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Yep, I'll send that over.
Thanks.
Boy.
Guys, we'll go ahead and advance now. See, Andrew just posted a picture of his car, and that is not what I see, and I hate it. Gosh, trading paints, you're driving me nuts. Okay, so it's not just me. Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Andrew out there? Not yet. Michelle's got the white car, but I think she has one. Paul's got that. Emily's got the Bud car. Bill's got the Natty Ice machine. Ryan's got the other Natty Ice machine. Rob's repping his Downshift in Tampa. Sean is running the one Napa scheme and Wayne's running the other one. God, that's not going to get confusing all season or anything. Lord. Good Lord. Oh no. Wayne goes around on exit. Ashed up the front end of that sucker. All right, so as the numbers roll in here, we've got Mr. William White making it onto the pole with a car that has no loaded paint, because why would that work? Oh my gosh. I want you to work. Why won't you work? I'm going to have to kill this program, I think. I'll do it too. I'm not afraid. Where you at, trading paints and task? Good night, Big Prince. That does actually anything. Yep, that is definitely not Hardcastle's paint either. Logan is just not in there, so that's cool. That's a bummer. Stepped away. Hopefully he didn't, like, kick his cat down a staircase or something. That would be super unfortunate and definitely delay your return to the simulator. All files up to date, huh? Oh, and Hardcastle getting super loose. Really trying to get at least a lap in here, but he is struggling. It does get one down faster than Wayne. At a 24-1. Wayne's still running. But just Hardcastle and Emily are getting laps in. Hardcastle's got one more shot at it here, and this lap looks much cleaner. Good, very good. Oh, that was interesting. All right. Got about a half a minute left, guys. I'm just trying to give everybody, specifically Logan, as much time to get back as he can have. Get this show on the road.
I don't think they're coming.
Okay. We are on the grid. Go ahead and grab a TV2 vidya of our front row here. Back, man, I cannot believe Trading Paint's going to do that to my boy Corey. That is ugly. Straight up just a yellow and white 7 car. Oh, man.
Jinxed it.
I'll unjinx it then. Good luck, everybody. Have fun. Take it easy. Get some heat in those tires, and let's do this thing. Good luck, guys. Oh, well, I just die for comedic relief.
My bad, my screen kind of froze there, so I just didn't think we were going.
And my Trading Paints is completely junk, so I'm going to apologize specifically to Corey. Dude, it's got you in a yellow and white car. I am so sorry.
Oh, you bamboozled me.
That's the same thing I watched him do last night. Because my Trading Paints was also being big dumb.
It does make me feel better. It's not just me, but I also don't feel better at all.
Did you try like a end it on the thing and like restart it and see if that worked?
Let's see if Control
You
R.
try hitting Control R while in sim. That's what I did, and it seemed to fix my problem.
Yeah, like end it through the task manager and it might like hard reset it.
I've actually done both of those things now, and nope, still mustard yellow, Corey.
Rip.
Huh.
Fortunate. I probably would have had to restart the sim, but oh
Green
well.
flag, green flag.
Thanks for the help, though, Tom. Appreciate it. And we are green. Oh, White gets an amazing start. Full kart length lead over Corey. Closely followed by Leighton, Brian Beeman in fourth. Michelle Voles rounding out that oh-so-sweet top 5. I know. Just into the back of the pack here. That is the pace car. Thank you, iRacing. Awesome. So we have officially survived one lap. So anything else that happens just happens, and don't have to worry about it. That's cool. Oh, that's a big crash.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
I believe that was Mather. That is a big problem. That is unfortunate. But That's exactly what we're looking for here, though, for that soft warning penalty here. So you'll see the car will start to spin on entry, the rear end will come around, executing a little bit of counter steer. When that doesn't work, the car will kick out. You'll notice the brakes will lock here, the tires will stop, and they will just lock it down to the wall and stay on the brakes to prevent the car from sliding back into traffic. That is 100% what we're looking for. Very unfortunate, but everything that we asked for, so that's good. All right, drivers, caution was caused by a self spin from the number 3 car, and the 3 car exhibited all of the properties of a spin that we would like to see. So an attempted save, and then proper application of the brakes and steering to keep that car out of the way of the racing line. So there will be no penalties assessed under this caution. Thank you. Oop.
Okay, so I may have one more thing that might help you, Ben.
Shoot, brother.
A little option that says hide car numbers in the graphics section. If you turn that off, it may show his car because my scheme was not showing up until I turned that off.
So you want to check the box that says hide car numbers?
Yes. And then reload panes. It's like the controller thing.
I think I lost paint. That. We'll see what happens. Oh gosh. Oh no, there's the Budweiser machine.
That doesn't work. That was my last option. I got nothing for you.
Well, I'll be darned. The ace is back, Corey. Fixed it. Thank you.
Yeah, I was driving myself insane yesterday trying to figure out why my scheme wasn't working, and then I'm like, oh, that's not supposed to be off, and turned it back on, and what do you know? They're back.
So the race stream doubles as a YouTube tutorial video for how to fix graphics issues with training paints on iRacing. Thanks, guys, for your participation. Gosh. Good times had by somebody. I don't know. Wasn't me. I was never there, so. Well, 6 laps in the books. 3 cars still hanging out at the back. I did not see them go into the pits, so rear end damage must not have been all that big of an issue. And we are going to launch these hot rods green again. Another fantastic jump from Will this time. Corey's going to get a better jump on the outside, though. Reclaim, I guess, maintain P2 on the outside. That is the lap pace car. Thank you, game. Scrolling back here a little bit. I'm trying my best to make my camera angle that watches the whole track here, and I feel like throughout the night I'm possibly going to be regretting that, but a little bit of a multifunctional stream because we're trying to show off the race, but we're also trying to race control, so boo tutorials. Yeah, well, you know, if they work, right? Taking a quick look at our results screen. Looks like some of our biggest movers are currently Ben Miller in 7th and Andrew Hardcastle in 8th, up 3 and then 4 positions respectfully. They look to maybe work their way more towards the front here. Paul might have had a little bit of an issue there, but he seemed to sort it, which is good. The more laps these guys get on these tires, for a little while, the better it's going to be, and then eventually the worse it's going to be, which is not good, but you know, for now we'll take it. But he's decently content with and pretty much single file right now. I think the closest action we've got on the track there is 2 big movers behind Bob Gray. So you're looking at Ben Miller in the blue 31 machine, and Andrew Hardcastle in the white and red and every other color of the rainbow 20 directly behind him there, coming out of 2. Like Ben lost a little bit of ground there on exit. Andrew is now going to the inside to capitalize on that. Really careful as Ben definitely looks like he doesn't want to give up that position, giving Andrew a nice good squeeze to the bottom, but Andrew is still most certainly there. Not getting rid of him that easy. It's early on. I would definitely look to probably let him go if possible, but Ben thinks he's got the speed, you know, then don't do that. Sure.
My bad.
Oh, a little bit of contact there, but these guys have sorted it out there. I think that's definitely a product of Ben Holden. Hardcastle is so honest, though. You can only do that for so many laps, and then somebody's going to make a little contact. So to see Ben and Andrew are right back at it, going too wide again. Andrew takes it to the wall, though. Gets a great momentum run to the outside, and it's going to end up clearing. The 31 machine is now the 17. Our points leader, Sean Millen, is all over the back of him, followed very closely by none other than Mr. Justin Harris. That action happening right at or around, 8th to 10th place or so. Hardcastle leading the group in 8th. Back to Justin in 12th. At the front of the pack, been pretty business as usual. So you've got William White just taking the laps off from the lead position. Corey now in his appropriate colors in P2. Leighton Norgard in P3 right behind him. Michelle now has moved up to 4th as Brian Beeman looks to have gotten into the wall there a little bit. Just to recover and retain 5th. Robert Gray kind of staying to the tail end of that group now in 6th. Look back to the 3-car battle here, led by Ben Miller, back to Sean Millen and Justin Harris, all fighting to get their chance to go for Ben's 8th position. Sean and Justin are too wide. Coming into turn 4 here. Like the outside line really does have some good drive off the corner on exit. Oh man, and he almost pulled up next to Ben there for a minute. Then, like he overdrove it just a little bit. Sean getting very comfortable with that outside. Definitely doing something that a lot of other folks don't seem to be able to do. Just make progress and pass to the outside. That's awesome. Sean tried to, oh my goodness.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
That was some serious
Go ahead,
contact.
Ben.
Sean tried a little cross up on Ben there, and oh man, yeah, he just plumb cleaned him out there. Yep, that was straight. Cut and dry. 17 rear-ending a 31. That is going to be a penalty on the 17 for sure. Drivers, caution was caused by contact between the 31 and the 17. 17 car attempts to move to the bottom to put a pass on the 31, misjudges the entry speeds of both cars and hits and spins the 31 car. So the 17 will be issued an EOL penalty and their first warning of the race. Thank you. And I'm not picking on you, Sean. It's just, we do it for formality purposes. I know you're already at the back.
I get it, no problem.
A friendly reminder, too, with a couple drivers taking some damage to the nose. Keep an eye on those oil and water temps. Make sure you don't have radiator damage. You want to come in and let them hammer on that car for a minute before you do some real damage to the motor. So just keep that in mind, guys.
I don't believe I made contact, but who knows?
Let's take a look for you, Will. I would love to tell you all the wonderful things that you didn't do. Let's see. Race control confirms the 40 car did not make any contact under that incident. Nice driving.
Don't go.
Can't
Ben, do
open.
I have any black flags?
I don't see any on the entry list, but is it telling you something that I'm not seeing?
I can't quite see, but we'll see here if it complains on green flag. I know I entered a closed pit because obviously damage.
Well, whatever the hell it was, it let me clear it, so
Okay, thank you.
Ben Miller is our first unfortunate soul to lose a lap in this capture the flag contest.
Green flag.
Ride along with him at the back of the pack here for the start of the race, or restart of the race, I should say. A few folks involved in the incident now are going to be trying to make their way through the back portion of the pack here. Ben Miller is definitely going to be looking to make some gains, as I think he's the only car that came down pit road that whole altercation, so he's going to have the freshest of fresh tires, which is a good thing, except for, like you just saw, he's going to be getting loose because fresh tires are also cold tires. So he makes sure that he gets a couple laps in before he starts tearing people apart. And there's Sean showing that awesome strength on the outside that he has to zip around Paul Laporte. Jump himself up to 13th place. 14th car on the track, but then is a couple laps down and he will be 13th. Hop back out into TB3, which is a pretty nifty camera here. I know it might not be easy for some of you folks if you're watching this on the phone to see who's what car, but it is what it is. So at the front of the pack, though, we do have a little bit of a change up. It's not William White, that's for sure. He is still in P1, but Leighton Norgard has taken P2 away from Corey, who now sits in P3. We do have some two wide action a little bit further back. It looks like Robert Gray feeling a little bit of pressure from Andrew Hardcastle, trying to take that 6th place away from the 21 machine. Sit-go car, another sharp-looking ride that Bob brings to the show. Always a pleasure to see a true stock car racing enthusiast pull out all the guns as far as paints are concerned. These guys are really talented. They like to bring their new paints to every race, man. They spoil themselves. It's awesome. So fun to look at. In the iconic Sim Races for Mental Health Silver Bullet, driven by currently, I believe, just William White at the front of the pack here. I'm not noticing any other silver bullets, although Brian Beeman's ride there could be misconstrued as a silver, but it's more of a gray bullet. Back on the natty light colors. A little bit shiny. Nothing crazy, but Will is getting caught, though. I'll tell you, I don't think anybody has been this close all race, and now you got the likes of, oh man, we got a slow car in the back there. Wayne Rupak looks like he's trying to get back up to speed now. Falling off the pace there a little bit. He must have gotten loose or something to that effect, but he seems to be okay so long as he manages to keep it out of the wall. Can't really see any damage, so might have just been a light spin, which is not out of the realm of possibility at a track like this with cars like this. Starting to see a little bit more space to our leader. Who knows? Leighton is pretty darn close to the back end of that 43 machine too. Will's definitely got some speed, but I almost wonder if Corey and Leighton have a little bit better tire saving tactics as we approach lap 34 here in this contest. When these guys may start to really feel that tire wear. Get further and further into this race. On McMillan starting to work his way back up slowly, methodically, of course. The two Napa machines next to each other, totally hysterical and very difficult from a spectator's perspective as to how the heck you're going to call who's who in that situation. But Sean is going to take the inside away from Wayne Ruprack, and it looks like he's going to complete the pass. And Bill Rempe said, you know what, that looks like a good idea, so I'm going to follow you. And so he's also going to go by Wayne, putting Wayne now back in what I presume will be 13th position, ahead of Paul Laporte, who is still struggling to maintain pace with the back of the pack, but he's getting laps turning, and he's keeping it out of the wall for the most part, so definitely a good thing to do here. There's no better way to learn than to actually get out there and do the race, so hats off to him, for putting in the effort to make it tonight, even if he might not have been quite as quick as he wanted to be. But definitely not a safety hazard by any means, so good for him. They get those laps in. Learn something. You got some good footage too, because some of these guys up at the front know what the heck's going on. And I say guys, you can also say gals too. Michelle Voles, currently sitting in 4th place, is actually where she started, but due to that being an outside position, she's been back and forth a few times, but now looks to be steady in front of Brian Beeman. Somewhere between that and the rear end of Corey Abbott's 7 machine. And pretty good in that very base white car. Somebody needs to give this fine lady a sponsor. Getting ridiculous. Out here killing it, and nobody wants to put any cool stickers on her car. I'd put stickers on her car. Love stickers. Dylan, welcome. See, that was there for a minute, and I kind of went on a tangent, and then I was like, oh crap, I should still say hi. So I'm going to say hi. Welcome to ARCA. I'm not looking to jinx myself, and I do have my wooden table prepared to do this, so I will knock now. So everybody can, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I definitely can. Not going to jinx it, but I think as far as comparing to how Martinsville went last season, these guys are doing much, much, much better at keeping the cars straight and not causing any issues. See, looks like Bob Gray actually got around Brian there and is now putting significant pressure on the back of Michelle to the inside. Very, very tight quarters there. But Bob is going to have it on exit. I think he's going to complete the pass. Michelle's going to attempt to cross over on the bottom, but doesn't quite have the speed. I think on exit, Bob should complete the pass. Very well done by the 21 machine. Very good looking pass. Kind of spread out at the back here. Guys turning laps, keeping their cars clean. And Miller has actually made it up into what would be 8th place on his new set of tires. Trying to possibly get back up to the front and maybe get one of his own laps back there. I don't understand that reference, Tom, so you can yell at me about that later, but I have no idea who that is, so I am just one man. All right, so I got a couple chatters out there tonight. So I'm going to put you to work. I take bets now. We are 44 laps into a 120 lap contest. What do we got? Who's going to win the race tonight? And I'll pull up the results screen for everybody here to take a look at. It's currently been the William White show. He is definitely not too far ahead of the likes of Leighton and Corey. Off of his back, and Bob Gray seems to be coming alive in 4th place as well, so I really think it's still anybody's ball game. What are your thoughts, though? Good amount of single file racing here. It doesn't really take away from the action a whole lot, though. Lots going on. Lots of that, what Chris and I were talking about last week, that potential energy building up within the field. You know, nothing going on for a little bit means that it feels like it's kind of building. And speaking of that, we do have a 2 wide battle currently as Brian Beeman is all over the back end of Michelle Voles now to the inside. Attempting to do battle with her. Coming out of 4. Both cars getting very loose. Brian more loose than Michelle. Oh man, Brian is just Tokyo drifting this thing into these corners. This is awesome. On the bottom, he is trying so hard to keep it out of her quarter panel. He is now going to drop behind. It's a great attempt though, but man, I'm telling you now, anybody that says stock car racing is easy because you're just turning left really needs to get out there, grab this wheel, and give it a shot, man. Oh, and we've got a pass for the lead here as Leighton to the inside of William White. I'm not sure if Leighton's quite got enough momentum to get it done. We'll TV2 to get a better angle of this, but Leighton going on the attack, and Corey, being so close already, is right there, waiting for something to happen between these two guys. Bob Gray is not too far behind either, boys. You better get it sorted, or it's going to be a 4-car battle for
Sorry,
me
that was my bad.
quick. Make a little bit of contact as Brian goes to make a move on Michelle. Again, behind us there. Both of those cars seem to be running okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't skip out. It's so hard because I want to watch the action, but I don't want to mess up on any calls or anything here. But Leighton looking like he's definitely making some progress here on Will. I'm going to say he's darn close to maybe clearing him here even. I'm not sure if he's quite got enough room to pull up on him. I still don't think so, man. Oh, and he gets loose too. That's going to hurt his chances. I think William actually led that lap. No, 3,000s to Leighton, so he's starting to chip away at those laps. Man, he is going to have to figure something out because he just cannot clear that 43 car. So strong on the outside. I love it when tracks have multiple lanes, but Will's going to have to be careful here because as he's submitting it to Leighton, he might also be giving up the bottom to Corey here as he does end up falling into line. They are a very, very tight 4-car pack for the lead, and Bob Gray has completely caught them. So the battle rages on between Michelle and Brian. Hardcastle catching both of them. Emily Mather somewhere in there as well. Ben Miller, Justin Harris going at it. Back for no real position. Justin is 9th and Ben is 14th. Couple laps down. Filter all the way to the back of the pack here where it's pretty quiet, but that's a good thing. And boy, oh boy, has it changed. We've got a multi-lane battle up here for the front. Sorry guys, I see a couple questions in there. I'll try to get to them in a second, but it is getting absolutely crazy up here at the front pack. Awesome 4-car showdown as it looks like Corey Abbott now is going to complete the pass. No, he's not going to quite be able to pull down in front of William White. If he can get a good exit though, he might just clear him. And I think he does. Corey Abbott pushes to P2. Williams falling to P3.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution
We have a
is out.
caution. That's not great. Go ahead and take a look at... Oh no, it is a big one too. That is not great. Oh boy. It's a tough one because I mean, the obvious answer is that Ben hooks him, but I'm just trying to Yeah, it looks like that is Justin's normal line, and I think Ben just kind of looked him in the quarter panel there. Ugh, that's a rough one. Guys trying to slow up, but Wayne, huge contact with a 31 car, and William Rempe manages to get slowed down just a good bit. So take a look at it from, where was that, Sean? No, I think Sean's going to get through it. Oh, Wayne just had him locked. If he would have relaxed a little bit there, I think he could have taken it to the apron, but he just... he could... oh, yeah. That's a bummer. Alright, guys. Caution was caused by contact between the 85 and the 31 machine. The 85 car attempts to turn into the corner, and the 31 machine catches him in the right rear quarter panel, causing both cars to go up to the wall and have huge contact. I had looked back a few laps just to confirm that the 85 had been running that line throughout most of the race, and in fact he was. So this is just the 31 car turning down a little bit too soon, not anticipating his slightly wider line on entry. So I'm going to be issuing a EOL penalty and first warning to the 31 machine for causing that contact. Thank you. It's a bummer because now we've got a handful of guys, unfortunately, that are laps down. Justin Harris is definitely taking the brunt of this, though, as I believe his car is broken big time. How that goes. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tommy. I didn't know. Recently bought a gavel to judge iRacing fights. Good lord. Dylan's picking William. Does get to the front, and he likes to keep the lead. He has done a great job so far. As a team owner, you're going to say your own drivers, but you think Will has this on lockdown. Lots of people picking Will. I'm assuming you mean Rempe, of course. A man in the 40 Natty Ice machine back here, obviously. No other pits. We did have an incident earlier in the race with Ben Miller getting spun by the 17 machine, and he came in for repairs. He was a couple laps down off rip. And had pitted, and then that whole cycle just kind of went through, and everything's a little bit crazy now, but we do have Wayne Ruprack at 1 lap down. Ben Miller is now 3, and Justin Harris, unfortunately, is now ticking away at 4+. Which is not great, but when you make contact with the wall, the outside wall, with no real way of slowing down for it, that's just a crappy spot, unfortunately. And yeah, Dylan, it's definitely going to be a tire wear fight. I wasn't completely aware if other people had pitted there or not. But we'll see. All catching up. I'm working through the field here. I'm thinking that we really didn't have pit stop situation. We could have, but I definitely missed it if we did, because I was too busy trying to make some judgment calls, you know me. But Leighton, P1, walking away with it right now. Got a huge gap back to Corey in P2. Now Michelle looking for Corey's position, sitting in P3, and Will is fighting for his life to stay alive in P4. We got a car spinning in the back. Looks like Andrew Hardcastle goes for a bit of a spin, but he manages to save it, and Wayne looks to be slow on the track. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Did he... oh, yeah. Wayne lost his motor. That's super unfortunate, but you gotta watch out for those dials, man. That optional damage will save you for sure. Super, super unfortunate. So now we've got multiple cars. Fortunately, in the pits, Ben Miller has been back down pit road now and is currently sitting there parked. Wayne is out of his car. Wayne's night is done. And Justin is currently now logged at 9 laps down. Still not moving on the track. And Andrew Hardcastle is very much on an island towards the back of the pack, as he has saved a spin, but unfortunately has him in a bad spot on track to get lapped if he doesn't have some pace soon. But there wasn't really anything wrong with his pace to begin with, so I imagine without any mistakes, it won't take him to, or it'll take a while for them to catch him, especially if they start fighting here, so that'll be good. But yeah, Dylan, that's a blown motor. I'm sure that Wayne didn't want to be your example, but he definitely was. It's a very loud pop. It's actually kind of scary from the cockpit, especially if you're not expecting it. I had one go on me in the street stock when I was at Charlotte, and it almost caused a huge crash because, you know, the all of a sudden lack of power damn near spun the car out. So it can be very scary, man.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh no. Oh, Paul, Jesus. Okay. Hey, drivers, caution was caused by contact between the 44 and, I need my numbers, the 41 machine. So the 44 is on the bottom of the 41 car on exit, and they make a little bit of contact. Good bit of wiggling from the 44 attempting to save it, and then the car eventually does go around. Made into the wall, brakes were locked the entire time. The car remained in a solid position on track, so it was very predictable for other drivers who were attempting to drive around it. So this, in my books, is essentially the same as a self-spin that was handled well and will be considered a soft warning. So no penalties assessed at this time, though I will caution Michelle, make sure that you're watching your relative, because you almost pulled out in front of Paul at the very end. That would have been ugly at the speed he was going, so just keep an eye on that. But otherwise, good stuff. Thank you, guys. So I like it. I think my rule is working a little bit better as intended. We've definitely had a couple situations now where cars on track were, where in last season they wouldn't have held the brakes as much, possibly ping-ponged off a few other things, are now holding their brakes. And this is a big deal for all of you guys that are watching that are maybe a little bit newer to the service. Please, 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 if you are going around or you are spinning and attempting to be, you know, the car is already a lost cause, the best thing to do is to be predictable. And the most predictable you can be is to stop moving. So Michelle, in her attempt to lock the brakes down there, did one heck of a job. We'll go back and watch it again really quick, although I'm sure she doesn't want to see the spin again. But you know, just overall an awesome job at keeping the car, you know, mostly out of harm's way. That was definitely a tricky spot to spin. I mean, she's in the racing line here, big time. But as soon as you see it, as soon as the car goes right, you'll watch the front tire lock. You see how it's not moving, and then the back tires lock. So they are completely stopped. She's all on the brakes there, and it keeps the car nice and tidy up in the wall for all of these other guys to drive around. So a little bit of close call here, not being very tidy with the steering wheel. Didn't cause an incident, but you just have to be careful with that kind of stuff. But yes, please, 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 this is for every form of racing. This is endurance racing if you're running the Spa 24 this weekend. This is for stock cars. This is for dirt sprint cars. This is for rallycross, you know, core pro trucks, anything. If you're going to lose control of your machine, do your best to be predictable once you realize it's no longer savable. And I promise people will thank you for it. So awesome stuff from the 44 machine and the rest of the guys to get around the incident with very minimal damage. It's good stuff. Pace car is going to duck back in. A Leighton in the 12 machine is going to take us to the green. His
Green,
right
green,
foot
green.
makes the call, and off he goes. We're going to get ourselves up to the front, so we're actually looking at him here. Corey retains his position in second, just barely, but I'm telling you what, that 21 machine is looking hot on the outside. Bob Gray is all up in this business right here in P2, and he puts a heck of a move on the outside of Corey here. Doesn't stick it quite yet. It's a little bit loose, but he's actually going to be second place across the line here. This lap he has now since fallen back just a bit, but is right there on the back of the 7 machine. Actually looked like they made a little bit of contact there, and Bob maybe backed off a slight touch, but he is definitely letting Corey know that he is not okay to just sit there in third place while those two follow the leader for the next 40 or 50 laps or however many we got left in this race. Math's hard, especially at 9 o'clock at night, but yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is what we came here for. This is great stuff. Still have a good bit of folks. It looks like Justin Harris, now 17 laps down, has in fact emerged onto the track, so good for him. He can pick up a couple positions on some other drivers. Ben Miller's still in pit road. I think he is still missing a wheel or some sort of major suspension damage, and Wayne's night is done, so in a few laps he will promote himself a couple positions. And oh man, Bob and Corey are going at it right now, and it's to our benefit. It is awesome. Two of my favorite iRacing drivers are door-to-door for P2 right now. Leighton loves it. I know he's super excited to see it in his mirror right now. But, I mean, it's got to happen. It definitely has to be a fight that has to be settled, and somebody has to come away victorious to chase that 12 car down. And it looks like at the moment it's going to remain Corey Abbott in the 7 machine, but there is a whole group of cars right behind him. This is not a one-man show, guys. This is awesome, awesome racing here at Richmond. Bob remaining very close. Will and Brian waiting to strike, 4th and 5th respectively. The rest of the field still waiting for something to happen, but only other real major action we have is 2 wide right now between Hardcastle and his Vols. In the 3 and 4, it looks like Hardcastle will attain the position. Looks like Michelle got a little bit loose there, and I think Andrew was just in the perfect spot to retain that position. Very clean pass. They move forward. Maybe they can hook up and try to start catching some of these guys. Andrew's already had his slight issue tonight, so I think he got that out of his way. Oh, and will you look at that? Everybody's favorite 7 and 21 machines. Side by side with Bob Gray on the inside this time, which has been prevailing, unless your name is Sean McMillan, the prevailing side to be on all night. Corey must have opened the door just enough, and I'm telling you, them being side by side, I think Leighton would be able to just pull away, but he really hasn't been able to. Those two are very close. I don't know if it's the draft exactly or what, but I mean, what a show these two are putting on right now. Just have to go through the field and make sure that everybody else is playing nicely. But yeah, this is just an awesome battle between these two. Corey almost has Bob cleared, and Bob is going to have his nose to the bottom. He can remain tight. Nope, he is going to fall back again. Oh, man. What a race. I'm going to be talking about them too much. I'm going to have to look at somebody else here, but these guys are doing an awesome job. Super clean racing. Very respectful. Exactly what you want to see. Our two Aveline machines. Excuse me, of Justin Harris, Paul Laporte. And out there, Justin Harris, and of course, a good handful of laps down. He is now 17 laps down in P12, but he is going to put some pressure on Paul to the inside. Paul sitting currently on the lead lap in 10th. So Michelle seems to have fallen off the back of Hardcastle. I'm wondering if she's feeling some effects of possible strong tire wear there. Andrew and John McMillan and Emily Mather, who was our first caution tonight, if anybody didn't remember that. On, I think it was somewhere between about lap 5 and lap 10. The machine was backwards in the fence with a little bit of rear end damage, and since then has just been very on point, very quiet. Now find themselves in P6 with 30 laps to go. Good stuff. The laps tick away here. Leighton continues to eat away, if not overtake, the lead laps number that Bill White had set, which is a very crucial extra 3 bonus points, as Bob Gray is going to send it to the bottom of Corey Abbott and drift up the track a little bit, possibly made a little bit of contact there. They continue on, mostly unharmed, which is a great thing. Still 2 by 2, extremely close. Oh, Bob blinked on me there for a minute. He came back, and he is going to take P2 away from Corey, who is now going to have to put his defensive cape on there and start warding off Will White, who is now sitting in 4th. Leighton is loving all this in his mirror, man. He's like, I'm ready. Just watch these guys fight it out behind me. Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. We'll keep an eye. Brian Beeman forward for the moment, folks. I just have to step away really quick, and I will be right back in 30 seconds. All right, folks, I'm back. What did I miss? Anything? Front group looks pretty consistent. Looks like Justin Harris is caught up with Michelle. Be interesting to see how much pressure he attempts to apply to her, seeing as though he is 17 laps down. All right, cool, Dylan. Thank you. Yeah, no cautions. I figured if there was one, I'd be back in time to see that. Right. So, we've just started lap 100. Currently have a Leighton Norgard sitting in the top spot as he has for the past good handful of laps, with Robert Gray closing in at about a half a second behind him. In P2, Corey Abbott in P3, William White in 4th, and Brian Beeman rounding out the top 5. Emily Mather in P6, Andrew Hardcastle in 7th, Sean McMillan in 8th, Michelle Vose in 9th, and Paul Laporte in 10th. Paul Laporte Jr., I'm sorry, in 10th. Actually, as I say that, looks like Mr. William Rempe has gone around him, so he is still in 10th away from Paul. And those are the last 2 cars currently being scored on the lead lap. We still have Justin Harris and Ben Miller turning laps 17 and 20 laps down respectively in 12th and 13th. Wayne Rubrack out of the race and 37 laps down with a blown engine. Round out the field there. And yeah, it's getting exciting here, folks. We are winding down, coming to awfully close to 15 to go, and Robert Gray has turned 5 tenths into 2 tenths and is now, and I mean, I'm telling you guys, pretty stinking close to that 12 car, you think? He is there, and you see him winding up his corners here, so he'll drive a little bit deeper into the exit, or to the entrance, I'm sorry, to be able to get a very narrow exit. And I'm telling you, folks, he is there. Bob Gray is all over the back of that 12 machine. Definitely needs to be careful now, as we do have some lap traffic coming up here. Ben Miller currently a couple seconds off the front of Leighton there. I believe in the next 15 laps, unless these two start fighting pretty hard, he will most certainly become a factor in this race. But oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, Bob is here. Leighton throwing a little bit of a defense to the outside there to try to keep Bob off, but Bob has officially got it too wide now. He is to the outside of the 12 machine. They're even. Bob looking to actually edge ahead a little bit, but then a Leighton gets a really good exit, but then Bob gets an even better one to the outside. Is he going to be able to clear the 12 car? Not quite. Yes, maybe. A little bit tough to tell. Oh no, Ben Miller spins, hits the wall in front of the leaders.
All right, man, caution is out.
And the caution will come out. Oh my goodness. He's glad that that didn't happen a few feet behind him, I guess. That would have been absolutely terrible. Oh, he just got back into the gas a little bit too soon. Out of his rhythm there, I think he heard the footsteps, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's definitely a little bit scared that the lead cars were coming up behind. You can hear the cussing in that car. Yeah, I hear ya. Oh my goodness. Bob Gray just hit the... Oh my gosh. From the lead, Bob Gray just hit the water barriers going into the pits. That's... Oh my god, that's catastrophic. Unbelievable. Oh, I think the pit entrance snuck up on him and he wasn't ready for it. Oh man, that's gutting. Oh my gosh. That is terrible. I feel so bad. Wow. I don't think it's going to have destroyed his engine. It is water barriers, so hopefully iRacing at least knows that that is a soft impact, but definitely got some front end damage there. Remain on the lead lap at least, but Oh, and he's going to take out his aggression on the cone. That's not nice. Not the cone, Bob. Steering is broken.
Hey, Ben, can you check that black flag I got? I didn't have any call dude that passed me.
What was it for, buddy?
Passing under yellow, but there was no car around me to let by or pass. I turned into the pit.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird one. Cleared, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, and Bob Gray is going back down into the pits, it looks like, to probably deal with more of that front end damage. He's retaining his lead lap position. I can't believe that. That is unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to tell you this, but the real Will is here to play. Mr. William Rempe stayed out and is now in the lead of this race with less than 10 laps to go. I know. Hey guys, I should announce caution was caused by a self-spin for the 31 machine. I'm sure the leaders saw that and possibly filled their pants while it happened. But that would have effectively given him a drive-through penalty if he had stayed in the session, but he has disconnected. So you're all set. Hey, what's up, DMZ? Yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy for sure. I'm a little bit concerned that he might not have the speed or the tires to hang with these guys at the front, but I will say that if he can manage to stay alive, especially if there's a couple more cautions, that he might come out with a decent finishing position. And he has led laps, so he got his bonus point there for leading lap. So I don't disagree with the call at all. Like you said, I think that's a great thing. Bob managed to get back out. He did. Bob is now with a little bit less front end damage there. Definitely in a good spot. Now
Green,
William
green, green.
Remp leads the field to green. 7 laps to go as we hit lap 113 and a bunch of cars. Much fresher tires behind him. He's really not putting up that much of a fight. That or he just got really tight right there. I can't quite tell. But Leighton Nordgaard shoots right through. Oh, a little bit of shove from Corey there. Leighton is... Oh, no, Leighton's in the wall. Andrew Hardcastle manages to pass. And, oh my gosh, they're darn near going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Nope, it spreads out. Leighton pushed a little bit too hard there, I think, and he ended up going... Oh, Michelle is spinning. I think she is going to manage to save that. Oh my goodness. So flip-flop, all over the place. And as we're coming to the line with 5 laps to go here, and Andrew Hardcastle is currently sitting in the catbird seat. And the caution has come out.
Sorry.
Go ahead and take a peek as to what happened here. Like there was another self-spin by the 3 car, and oh my gosh, Paul just full-blown nails her down the straightaway. My goodness. Try to get going to the bottom there, and that did not work out too well for either of those drivers.
Lucky dog coming outside. Lucky dog outside.
All right, drivers. Caution was caused by a self-spin from the number 3 machine coming out of, I believe, 2 or 4, whatever even number corner that was to exit. Loses control, shows decent lockdown. Unfortunately, does collect the 28 machine in the process, which just a decent attempt to try to get around, but car momentum is weird and stuff happens. But this is the 3 cars' second self-spin, so it is no longer a soft warning and will be applied the first EOL penalty and first level warning to the 3 car causing the incident. Thank you. Okay. Justin is that lap slightly back. As I have a feeling it might get a little bit weird with 1 to go, with the lap cars being in front, it might shuffle you guys to the back. So by lap cars, I mean Justin. So whatever it does, just keep an eye on it, and if you get a black or something, just let me know. I'll clear it.
10-4, thank you.
All right, guys, this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered. We have 2 attempts. This is the first attempt at a GWC. So just like I told them, the first attempt at a green-white checkered. What does that mean, Ben? Well, that means there's 2 laps left in the race. And so under caution, by NASCAR rules and by now oval rules, essentially we are not going to take any more laps off of the total left in the race under caution. So we're going to continue to stay at 2 laps to green, or 2 laps to checkered under caution. So when we restart, there will be 2 laps to go, hence green, white, checkered. So the first lap is the green flag, the second lap is the white flag, and then you get to the checkered. So 2 laps to go. We're going to get 2 attempts at this. So this being attempt number 1, drivers will have to get back to the start-finish line. 1 lap to go. Once the leader crosses the start-finish line at the white flag, the race is locked in, and whatever happens, happens. I cannot throw a flag, and neither can iRacing after leader crosses the start-finish line. Then I'll go ahead and remind the guys now. Just a quick reminder to everybody as well, once the leader crosses the start-finish line, they take the white flag. Neither I nor iRacing can call a caution, so anything that happens after that will have to be looked at post-race with penalties and whatnot. So, thank you. All right, so we have Andrew Hardcastle in the catbird seat. He's going to be looking to launch to green, and he gets a heck of a jump. Will White caught sleeping. Leighton rockets to the front right behind him, and he's already to the inside of Hardcastle going into 1. An unbelievable launch. The 12 machine is not quite going to be able to get underneath, though, pushing extremely hard. On the back of the 20, coming to the inside. I don't see any cars spinning, I believe. Oh, no, we do have a car spinning, but caution does not get called. Oh, it's always a bummer when it happens right at the line. We are in the white flag scenario, though, so unfortunately there's nothing I can do. So it's a Leighton and Hardcastle going to the line. On exit, Leighton is going to come up and give him a little bit of a touch. And across the line, I think it was a Leighton by an inch. Oh, my gosh. That is an unbelievably close race.
Good race. Well, oh, Jesus.
That is a 6 1,000ths of a second gap between you two across the line. Very good driving, gentlemen. Apologize for the cars that were spinning across the line coming to the white, but by the time I tried to throw anything, it was too late. So, nothing we can do there, but I'll take a look at what happened and see if I need to make any adjustments.
Congrats on the win.
So
That was a hell of an ending, considering how that was mostly a single-file race, it felt like, most of the time.
I thought we were about to see a Daytona big one right across the finish line with everybody piled up there. That's really good driving by everyone.
oh.
That was a great race, guys. I was expecting Martinsville, and it was so much better.
Agreed. Well done.
That was a close finish between me and you for 6th, too.
Oh yeah, a couple really close finishes across the line there. Hey, all right, I'm gonna back here and take a look at what happened to Bob here, just real quick. If there was any contact or anything that instigated the spin. Nope, I think it was just self-spin. Okay. Gosh, and Paul just slams into the back of him, man. He is picking all of the wrong ways to try to get around these wrecks. That is massively unfortunate. Oy. Man, oh man. Well, I feel terrible for Bob. He had an unbelievable race, a great move to get to the front, and then the incident entering the pits, and then everything post that was not great. He was making a hell of a charge back to the front, but gosh, yeah, that was something, man. Right to the line these guys are gonna go, and I'm telling you. You want to talk about close finishes. Oh, nice pause, iRacing. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Well, either way, that was awesome. Super close racing. Shush with your tutorials, Tom. Don't you worry about it, all right? We're here to learn, so you don't need to learn anything. I guess get the hell out.
How was the show from above, Mr. Race Control?
You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching.